Hello, hello to my kings, my queens, my brothers, and my sisters. I greet you all with love and light of the Most High God, the infinite creator, source of all things, source within. I thank you for checking your sister out. This video won't be long. I just want to share with you a post um, of this sister in the spirit. Her name is Sarah Adams, and she's very highly evolved spiritually. Okay, she's someone that I would suggest many of you to check out on YouTube. She go by Sarah Adams, and I sense a lot of truth with her. A lot of things that she speaks about does go over my head because I'm not there yet. Okay, but then there are a lot of things she speaks about I can relate, and that's pretty much what I stick to, when I'm watching people, when they're speaking their truth. I just listen to them. I take what they're saying in. I may not agree with everything just because I can't relate to it, but the things that I can relate to, I take it in. I'm like, yeah, I can relate to that. I've seen that. I've experienced that. So anyway, she had posted an article Saturday, and I just want to share it with your family. Okay, these are not my thoughts or words; these are her words, but I can relate to it. The society that we're living in is very controlling, very controlling. It's like it's my way or the highway. If you don't think like this, or you're doomed, or you're this, you're that. Um, I'm not here to try to save anybody, all right? This is my life path, and I'm here to be of service to help my brothers and sisters, but not to impose my will on anyone because we all, the way I see it, have free will. You are allowed to think how you want to think. You're allowed to make decisions for one's highest good. So I'm definitely mindful of people that I watch on YouTube who, when they speak, they come from a place of controlling, and it's like it's their way or the highway, or it's their way, and you don't know what you're talking about. They have all the answers. Nobody have all the answers. We're all, you know, by and by growing and learning, and we're all a work in progress, but we're getting there. But there are many of us that are more highly evolved than others. That is the truth. I mean, I know that's what I have come to experience. Many people have had more experience than others. When it comes to being spiritual, shall I say? And many people have remember their past lives, who they once were, and having hypnosis regression done. That's a big plus. That's a big plus to get to that place of finding out who you were. Okay, I know it can be scary, but like I said, that's your spiritual man. You know what I mean. If you have an issue with your temple, going within yourself, speaking with your higher self, or allow your higher self to speak on your behalf, something is wrong. There's nothing evil about you. So one needs to kind of check themselves when it comes to that, because everything is not evil. Family, you're not evil. I'm not evil. Okay, it's just people's perception of how they view things. They feel they don't understand, so of course everything is evil because they don't understand it. But anyway, I know with my videos, sometimes I can be passionate about, the topics that I speak about, because I'm speaking from my truth, my testimony, and that's something that nobody can take from me. But I'm happy to share my experiences because I know it can help somebody. But I will never be on here imposing my truth on nobody. This is my truth, my walk, all right? My life path. And all I'm doing is just sharing the love, all right? Sharing my light. And like I said, I'm going to be mindful of people that you're watching on YouTube that, come from a place of like they have all the answers, because nobody have all the answers, all right? So anyway, let me read this post real quick, family. And like I said, these are not my words. These are Sarah's words, okay? But it's very inspiring, and I do, I stand in agreement with what she's saying. All right, here we go. Look at nature. Do you see trees telling other trees how to grow? No. The trees grow amongst each other and support each other. All together they create beautiful forests. You see, the trees flow with the energy of the universe, which is God itself. Trees come in all colors, shapes, and forms. They are not Bayes, it's Biased, like humanity is. Humanity could learn a lot from trees. Humanity has a problem, a huge problem. Nobody accepts each other. Everyone is always telling each other what to do or trying to impose upon others their theories and beliefs. They judge on color, on gender, on beliefs, on everything. This is against the divine. The divine accepts all and allows all to express, be, and flow. The tread have not lost their connection to the divine energy of God, which flows through them as humanity has. Let others be supportive. Let others be support them. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just going to read the way she has it. Let others be support them. Stop trying to impose upon others. Imagine if everyone accept each other, how the world would be so much more beautiful. The next time you want to judge a person on looks, on gender, or on race, on the personal choices, stop yourself and think about the trees. Surely you can act just as spiritual evolved as a tree, and when you start accepting others, you will feel so much better within. That is so true. This is my motto. When we're loving each other, we don't have time to judge. I'm serious. Even the word tells us to judge, that ye be ye not judge. When we're spending more time loving on one another, supporting each other, we don't have time to judge. We really don't. And that word control, that's something, it's a part of this 3D system that we're in. It's part of it. Even in religion, there's a lot of control there, a lot of fear-based in religion, shall I say, which does keep a lot of people bound. Because Christ wasn't religious, pretty much, which was pretty much that was coming out of his mouth was spiritual, enlightenment, but the people consider that New Age. Oh well, all New Age is not a cult, family. That's how I see it. Let me say it like that. That's how I see it. How I see it, all New Age is not a cult. We all, the way I see it, must be mindful, using discernment when it comes to dealing with people. I know for me, I go by energy and I go by what comes out of a person's mouth. Especially if I'm speaking with them, this is what I go by, and I try to get an idea. They come from a place of being sincere and of truth. You know what I mean? But from the most part, you will know if you're dealing with people that you encounter online. All right, that's considered part of the spiritual community that you consider as New Age. All right, that's cult-like, because it's pretty much do as I say, and people trying to impose their will, their theories, their thoughts on you. Family, let me just say this. If any of you have ever felt that your sister, have ever came off like that, I want to apologize. I really do, because, I'm here to, speak my truth, my testimony, because that's all I know. But I never say, the way, I'm living my life, this is the way you should live yours, because nobody has ever walked my walk. Nobody knows how I got to this place, but many of you know that I'm just here sharing my experience, my testimony. That's all I'm doing. But I'm not going to ever say, do as I say. Who am I to tell you that? You know what I mean? That's not right for me as your sister in the spirit, for me to come up on you like that, and I never will. All right, you either hear what I have to say, it may resonate truth with many of you, or it doesn't. But it's okay. It's okay. I still love y'all anyway. That's the will of the Father for me to continuously love my brothers and sisters. For many of you are still my neighbors. You may not be my neighbors as far as they live side by side, but we are still neighbors, on this earthly plane, passing by, the way I see it, we are loving each other and supporting each other and trying to help each other, being my brother's keeper, my sister's keeper. That's how I see it. But to be on here opposing, my will, my theories on anybody, no, that's not the intention that I wanted to put out there into the universe. But if I have ever came off like that, all right, I apologize. One thing about your sister, I own my shit. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's all I really want to say, family. I love you in Christ, and I want to say this real quick too. But anyway, many of you, if you're interested about Sarah, the sister is really, really deep. There are things she speak about that I have not experienced, so it pretty much goes over my head. But I'm just saying, if you're curious about some of the topics, she really goes there, because she's had more experience in those areas. Her name is Sarah Adams. You can find her on YouTube. I started checking this gentleman out that goes by Max Spears. I started watching his videos first, and that's how I end up learning about her, because Max and Sarah were a couple, shall I say, and Max had died a couple of years back. I think it's been maybe 2 years now, 2 or 3 years he had died, and he was speaking a lot of truth, family, and a lot of things he talk about goes over your head. He talks about super soldier and MKL Ultra and sex trafficking. I mean, he really goes there because well, like I said, look him up. Look up Max Spears as well, and you can get more information about him as well. The choices are yours. You don't have to. The choices is yours, all right? But that's how I found out about Sarah. So, yeah, family. But I do sense a lot of truth with Max. He's no longer with us now. He was murdered, all right? Yes, he was. He was murdered. He was just dropping too many jewels, shall I say. But anyway, it has been a lot of truth seekers out here that has been dropping like flies, that I have been, that the universe had led me to be watching these people speaking their truth, their testimony, of things that they have experienced. And it's just really sad, I remember watching Phil Snyder, Many of you know who he is. I'm not going to really go in details about him, but he was dropping a lot of truth, and he was murdered too. But anyway, I'm through with that. Many of you do your own research, all right? Let me say this real quick. It's something about the power of the blood. I tell you, the power of the blood. I remember I took my daughter last year around this time when she started school. I got real sick because it was her first. Because she's been with me ever since birth. She never been in preschool or nothing. And so when she started school, she started getting sick. Been around other children. So when I took her to the doctor, and they gave her like a general, health inspection, checkup, whatever, and took her blood. So I asked the lady. I said, you know what? I say, while I'm here, I said, can you tell me my daughter's blood type? I said, I'm just curious, because I know I could have gotten it, when she was first born, but I wasn't thinking about it at the time. I said, can you tell me my daughter's blood type? And the young lady was like, oh, man, we can't give out that kind of information. And I worked at the hospital, so I understand about HIPAA. I understand about that. But I'm a parent. My child is underage, She can give the information out to me, because I'm a parent, She's like, we don't give out the information. I said, yeah, but I'm her mother. I said, well, why is it so secretive that you can't give out her blood type? We just don't. We just don't give out that, that kind of information. Piss me off, family. Piss me off. But I know there's other ways that I can still get it, because they have tests that you can buy I think over the counter you can buy these tests or whatever. But it just really pisses me off how, you know, they got the law set up to where, you know, these nurses can't even give out your blood type, you know, when you ask for it. I think that's crazy. You know what I mean? But let me just say this real quick. I mean, I know what time it is, and a lot of you know what time it is too. But let me just say this real quick. You know, uh, they're so ahead of us. You know, the powers that be, like I said, trying to keep everybody in control, fear based, and they definitely want you in fear based. All right, for us to be fearing the unknown, cause that's what feeds the beast. You know, just to keep you in your place, shall I say, to keep you in your place. You know, so they want to keep everybody fear based. But let me just say this real quick. They know who's. All right, and you know, one way they know whose is whose. Cause think about it, family. Remember in the Bible when Christ was born? Well, before he was born, remember the three wise men? How they was traveling, they was looking up, you know, in the skies, looking at that star. All right, they call it the star of Bethlehem, but it was that bright star that was in the sky. They were following that star. Well, I ain't gonna go into too much details, but my understanding of it was a light ship. All right, that's my understanding. But anyway, I leave that alone. But there were still planets also that were aligned during that time. All right, you know, planets are always aligned at a certain time. Okay, and during a certain time, you know, certain people come back, shall I say, like ascended masters, they come back. That's all I'm going to say on that. But anyway, during this time, not only were planets aligned, but they were following a so-called star. Okay, so anyway, but these three wise men knew about it. Obviously, they knew about neurology as well. All right, but those who are in tune about neurology, you get what I'm going with this. It gives you an idea of who's. You know, especially if you really into it deep. You know what I mean by that. How some people, when they are into prophecy and all of this, and they're expecting for a certain person to come back. You know, they go by looking at the cosmic skies. You know, seeing how the planets are aligned, seeing how the stars are positioned in the sky. But anyway, even to this day, they going by, because they have these telescopes, family, so they see it. You know, they see what was going on up there. They see how these planets are being aligned during a certain time, and they know those who come back during a certain time, all right? Over a period of a cycle. So, with that being said, they know who's, all right? Many people are ascended masters and they come back, but they don't know who they are. You know, when you come here, your memory is just blank. You know what I mean? Your memory is blank. You don't know whose you are, and they're trying to keep a lot of people like that, not knowing whose they are by, you know, the food, the water with the fluoride, and, you know, poisoning our foods and keeping everybody low vibrational. Got everybody listening to low vibrational music. Got everybody watching these low vibrational, well, I say the box, you know what I'm saying, the black box. Got everybody watching TV, you know, to where they tune in and being all programmed, shall I say, with the fear-based news and media, and them pretty much telling you what they want to tell you. They don't tell you everything that's going on around the world. Oh no, they're not going to do that. They just tell you what they want you to want us to know. And even when you're watching TV, there's still a lot of subliminal messages coming from the radio. I mean, from the TV as well as the music that we listen to on the radio. All right. So the point I'm trying to make is they're trying to keep a lot of people low vibrational. All right. Due to the energies. All right. Due to blocking, well, I don't want to say too much. Many of you know what I'm talking about. They're just basically just trying to keep everybody low vibrational, keeping you from ascending, keeping you from remembering whose you are. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Many people are more advanced. They're coming back and already remembering their past life. They're coming back. They may not remember all of it, but they're coming back remembering certain people that they once were, all right, from past lives. They're coming back, and this is powerful. It's very powerful when you find out whose you are. And the thing about it, you weren't just one person, you were many, you know what I mean? some people more than others. You are many people, many beings, shall I say, many advanced beings. But if you don't have no knowledge of this, you pretty much just, it's like the blind leading the blind. You just don't know. That's why we're down here. We're pretty much trying to get back to that Christ-like state. We're trying to get back. This is my perception of it. Let me say it like that. I ain't trying to push my views on nobody. This is my perception of it. We're trying to get back to that Christ-like state of Christ-like consciousness of remembering who we were. And when you start to do that, especially meditating definitely helps, family. It really helps as far as you receiving downloads and information from within, because your guides are there. They're waiting to assist you, and as well as your angels. But like I said, we don't call on them. You gotta call. The word said, asking you shall receive, knocking it shall be open, seeking you shall find. But getting back to the planets, when certain I kind of had a brain freeze moment. When certain ascended masters come back, all right, and there have been many of them, but when they come back, all right, the planets are always aligned in a certain way. And like I said, if you know about astrology, you know about how certain planets comes together during a certain time, all right. Just like when I was born, there were certain planets that came together, because I've had my report done. I had my numerology report done. So, I have it already on file, and I looks at it, and I see certain planets that were aligned when I was born. That's why it's good to know when you was born and the time. The time is definitely good, but it's still okay if you don't really know the time, but at least know when you were born. You know what I mean? The day, and at least close to the time as much as possible. Ask your mom, was I born in the middle of the night, was it past 12 a.m., at least get a close idea of when you were born. But anyway, but you get what I'm going with this. But they know how certain people are coming back, all right? It trying to help humanity raise consciousness, raise the vibration of the planet. They know this, family, and they definitely know when certain ones, all right, that they trying to keep their eye on from coming back. They know. And as far as, when it comes to the blood type, they know as well, because, they get their blood in the hospital, especially if you're born in the hospital. They're going to get their blood samples, and the hospital, they in with it too. I'm sure that they have it to where, they take oaths to where, they have to run this blood, and certain people who have a certain blood type, they probably keep them on file. I'm serious, family. A lot of this crazy mess is going on. I'm going to say this. I'm not going to reveal my blood type, because I'm just not going to, okay? But, it was a time I was told that I was one blood type when I was young. It's not when I was younger. I would say I was told, I never knew my blood type up to when I had my son, all right? And you know how when a woman is pregnant, they get all the blood that they want. They constantly, taking blood. And I remember they told me one blood type, right? Let me just say this real quick. They told me one blood type. And then, after I had my son, during the time after, I probably say, pregnant with my daughter, and afterwards, when I started having more of these ET contacts, that was going on with me. Cause I know they was experimenting with me, and I know they was also tampering with my DNA, all right? And that's all I'm going to say on that. Maybe later on I'll start sharing more things with you. My higher self told me right now it's not the time, I think I'll lose a lot of you if you do the things that I could share with you. And then plus, I don't want to be targeted either, because I know, I'm pretty sure my page, my channel is being monitored as well. And but I might pick maybe certain people to share certain things with, but, and please know, I would know if you are legit for me to share it with you. I have to make sure if you can handle it, shall I say. But like I said, they do pick select the ET, the ones that are benevolent, and even the ones that are not, they still mess with you too, with your DNA and all this mess. But the point I'm trying to make is, if you know that you are known to be abducted, please know that your DNA is tampered with. They are changing okay, your genetics, all right, and if they're changing your genetics, they mess with your blood type. My higher self let me know my blood type is different now. That's all I'm going to say. It let me know that it's different now. And how they do this, all I know is they are advanced. They have the technology to where they just open you up. You won't even feel no pain. You just lying there on the table, won't even feel no pain, but they're opening you up. And then there are times you are feeling pain, especially if you're dealing with grays, because they don't care how you're feeling. They are desensitized, to emotion. They're like robots. But anyway, they have no souls. But if you're dealing with the benevolent ones, they do care about our emotions, and they're not trying to hurt you, but they are doing whatever it is they're doing for a reason, all right? And I truly believe we make contracts with them before we come here. That's just my opinion. They tamper with your DNA as well for whatever reason. But yeah, that's why many of you notice, for those who have been contacted for quite some time, you're noticing the change in you and how you're more sensitive, how you're more psychic-like, and you just have this sense of knowing. They're pretty much, in a way, just waking up your DNA, that junk DNA, you know what I mean? But a lot of people, whether you feel like you've been abducted or not, the time we're living in, this Aquarius age, that we're coming in or whatever, people are starting to wake up anyway, all right? Everybody waking up in their own timing. So I'm going to end this video. I can always come back and do another video. I just pretty much really wanted to share several posts about how we should not oppose our theories and our views on the people. Just speak and share your testimony, your truth. That's it. It's up to your viewers and your subscribers to make up their own mind. And that's what your sister's about, family. I will never oppose my theories, my experiences on any of you. You have a right to your own God-given opinion, okay? I was checking this one person out, and everything was fine, until he was like, I'm not going to say his name because I'm not here to bash nobody, all right? Everybody have a right to their own truth, of how they see things, But he was like, yeah. He was like, can nobody tell me nothing? He said, when you are highly vibrational, that's when you are easily to be attacked. And I was like, I don't agree with that. Everything was fine until he said that. Everything was fine, family, until he said that. When you start being highly vibrational, and the powers that be, they know, and you're easy to be attacked. The power that be knows when you are low vibrational, and yes, they know when you are higher vibrational, but that's his opinion. But my opinion is, based on my experience, when you are operating, being higher vibrational, all right, you cannot be touched. You cannot be touched when you are higher vibrational, okay? You got high vibration, low vibration. This is my experience. And when you are higher vibration, you can tap into those higher dimensions when you are in meditation, that the lower vibrational entities or beings cannot touch you. I don't get that. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm not even going to say his name or anything. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't get that. But that's his opinion. That's his opinion. But he's like, can nobody tell me nothing? The way he was talking, like he just knows it all. And like I said, nobody knows it all. I'm a work in progress. I'm learning things by and by. But when I have experiences, I just share them. That's all I do. I just share them. So anyway, but yeah, from my experience, yeah, you start thinking all low vibrational. No, you start thinking all negative. From my experience, it does affect your vibration. You can be easily attacked. This has been my experience. So that's all I'm going to say on that. I love you in Christ. I thank you for checking your sister out. I thank you for your love and supporting my channel. And many of you know I do readings now, so don't be shy. Hit your sister up at paypal.me/Corinthia, okay? And I do relationship readings as well. Please be mindful. Like I told one queen, and I'm going to say this, I feel like it can really help my brothers or my sisters. Let me just say this real quick, because this is something that I have learned when it comes to relationship. Let me just say this real quick. When you are, the state that you're in the present, okay? The state that you're in the present, when you meet somebody new, or it could be an old flame coming to your life, but the state that you're in the present, that you're giving off vibrationally, all right? This is something that I have learned. it's going to affect your relationship. Okay, if you're a sister that is in a state of you still working on yourself and you still lack of self love, lack of self empowerment, that person is coming to your life at that present time. I'm just saying this. I'm just throwing. I know it can help somebody. You're going to keep getting more of that. That person coming to your life is to give you an experience. It's something that you need to learn in that relationship. So that's going to prepare you for the right person. So that's all I want to say. All right. You're welcome to take my advice or not. This is something that I have learned. My higher self has been revealing things to me that I'm learning about myself. All right. Especially with my last twin flame. Okay. And I will get back with that. I might give y'all an update about that. It's interesting how that works, but I'm through talking. Like I said, when you are in a good place in your life and somebody come into your life, it's still a lesson to be learned, all right? No matter what. We can't get away from the lessons, okay? But the main thing is operating self-love is everything. So peace and love to you all. And bye to my kings, bye to my queens. And thank you for watching. Much love. Bye.